Well, folks, hi, how you doing? This is Mike back at my uh, Big Stacks Little Locomotives YouTube channel here. And what I'm showing you here is my just completed wood turntable. This is based on the design for the Nevada County turntable. I modified it for my length because I wanted something quite short to fit in this quite small space here. So it's only about a 44 foot in prototype length, but this is all wood construction. If you go on my blog, there's a post there that shows the construction of this thing. I will point out a few things that aren't on the blog. So, for instance, the truss rods, what I use for the truss rods is 2mm monofilament fishing line that I got from Walmart. And to hold it in place, because of course it's nylon, I made little polystyrene nuts and washers. Here, let's lift this thing right off its base. All right, and you can look underneath here. So here we have, I used a hole punch for paper to make the round washer. Same with all of these other castings under here. These are all polystyrene. And I made a square nut, again, just cutting it out of 2mm polystyrene. And then to make sure that it actually stayed tight, because actually these are under tension, all of them are. I took some sandpaper and beat up the surface of the fishing line so that when I put epoxy on it, the epoxy actually had something to bite into. And so that is what is holding that in there. And same with these. So what I did originally was I'd glue one end on, feed the truss rods up through, then put on these, which are supposed to be clevises, I guess. So I put the clevises on, wrapped it over, put the clevises on, pulled it down through the other hole, and then reefed on it with a pair of vice grips, and then pushed the nut up into the epoxy that was there, and then left the vice grip on it to hold it in position until the epoxy dried, and so there it is. Now the bearing underneath, I'm not sure where I got that and what it's from. I think it's probably like a Lazy Susan bearing or something to that effect. But I'm hoping someday to replace that. Oh, come on, get on there. There we go. I'm hoping to replace that with what will be I'm assuming a 3D printed version of the original bearing, but I haven't done that yet. So this is just the structure of the turntable. And as you can see, it turns quite nicely. I still haven't figured out what I'm going to do with all of this landscape around here yet, because I don't need it to be here, because there doesn't need to be a turntable pit, because this is a center balanced turntable. There's no outer ring that the rail there's no rail running around the outside, so I don't need the turntable pit. My biggest concern, of course, is having a locomotive roll, just creep off the end of the turntable, and then suddenly the turntable's like that and the locomotive is on the ground. Now, I don't want that, so that's why I've kind of built this up. And I'm planning to put plexiglass around here so that even if a locomotive ever did roll, it can't get past the plexiglass. Anyway, that's the latest project that I have finished up. Thanks for watching.